The Irrational Confidence Podcast. This is the Backyard Brawl. We're going the West Virginia Mountaineers. They're going to Pittsburgh to play the Panthers. West Virginia's 1-0. Pittsburgh's 2-0. Oh, I'm sorry, West Virginia's 1-1, not 1-0.
Yeah, that lost. Everyone saw that loss.
I forgot about that. I forgot about that one already. We're looking at West Virginia is currently a 5.5 point road favor. Over under is set at 60.5 in this game. West Virginia, you're right, Fresh. We saw a terrible outing by them against Penn State. Penn State does, on paper, have a good defense, but Bowling Green showed differently on that one. But West Virginia kind of rebounded themselves against the lesser opponent in Albany. And we saw what we thought we would see from West Virginia with 300-plus yards rushing. Pitt sleepwalks through the first half against Cincinnati and pulls off a miraculous comeback late in the game there to get to 2-0. I don't know. What do you got with West Virginia and the Pitt Panthers?
Well, first off, we're going to start with the Pitt Panthers. I have a connection to this program here, and their offensive coordinator, Cade Bell. His dad was Kerwin Bell, who coached JU when I was working there. His head coach, Cade, played quarterback for them. They went out at Valdosta State. They won a D2 natty there, and he was with his dad at Western Carolina. And now Cade's up there at Pitt. They run an amazing, fast-paced, sideline to sideline, all across the field offense, and they throw the ball around the yard. But they sprinkle the running game, but it is a very exciting brand of offense. And what Cade has done already in the first two games is a complete night and day what we've seen the past few years there at Pitt. They were run first. You have Jordan Addison and Kenny Pickett were the aberrations of the whole run first offense that they had there at Pitt for the past few years. But this offense now, they're putting 4 guys on the field. They're throwing it all over the yard, and they're having a fast pace to really change up the defensive philosophy. You're going to see that pay off so much. And these first two ball games. That win last week, that passing game, that attack, if they had it last year, they got blown out by Cincinnati, they wouldn't have been able to make the comeback. So right now, you're seeing a nice little change there. There's a couple of the former JU players on that staff, on the offensive staff. So there's a little connection from that perspective. Coming into this ballgame, though, the quarterback, Eli Holstein, transfer from Alabama. It's one of the many they were there last year. Delville won the job. He's looked kind of comfortable, 66.7% completion percentage, 685, 6 touchdown passes, 2 picks at 2 ball games. So definitely putting the ball in the air a little bit. Running back Desmond Reed, 33 carries for 293, averaging 8.9 yards a carry, 1 rushing touchdown, and then 9 receptions for 117 yards and 1 touchdown. He's actually the number 2 receiver in terms of receptions on the team. So he's getting involved heavily in the offense, either one through the running game or the passing game. And then they have 7 players also on the team who have at least 4 receptions in the first 2 weeks. They spread the football around. It's not a one receiver effort. And it's all about just getting guys in space, moving the ball. How does their defense handle that? I think it actually probably fits a little bit better than what Penn State did, more power running and then play action out of that. So how does the defense for West Virginia adjust to this passing attack? They're going to have 2 weeks of film. How do they really get the secondary? How do they bring the pressure and the blitzes? Run more of a zone scheme as opposed to man coverage. I think they'll be okay. That's going to be a nice little test right there. It's going to be good also testing and barometer for Cade Bell and his offense. Where are they at in the program in week 3 coming into this big game? It's going to be a rivalry. So do you coach with that energy? Do you have that extra little, thumping you to say, hey, I got to turn up the heat a little bit. We're a rivalry game. It's not just a normal game. Is your heart beating a little bit faster when you're calling the plays? Are these young offensive players at the same level and ready to go? This Pitt team kind of revamping themselves after last year. Are they ready and prepared to handle this West Virginia team that's been through some battles already? From a higher, more upbeat kind of game. It's a rivalry game. Things are going to get emotional. There's going to be some hits after the whistle. There's going to be some pops after the whistle. It's going to be a lot of fun. One player on that Pitt defense that I think is going to have a great game, especially wrapping up, is safety Donovan McMillan. He's a leading tackle on the team. He's going to have to be involved in the line scrimmage, making plays on Singleton, making plays on Drew Lar. He's going to have to set the tone for that Pitt defense. They're going to want to be involved. Padden or Deasy, do you have anything concocted to shut down this Penn State offense? Is your defense ready to make some tackle at the line of scrimmage? You're going to have to tackle and be physical at the line of scrimmage in this ball game. You cannot back down. This is going to be a test of manhood, if you will, for that Pitt team. And who's going to, strongest man wins at the point of contact in this ball game. The other side, Mountaineers. Why I keep talking about Penn State, I had them in the mind. I just called me right there. So definitely not Penn State. Kidder Green and focused on getting after Donaldson, getting after White. Excuse me, from that perspective. So this West Virginia team, 2 weeks ago at home, you got thumped hard. If you lose to Pitt, it's another rival. It's going to be a real tough stretch going forward. Run the football, control the clock. Be the bad boys, out-muscle them. Do to Pitt what Penn State did to you. Hit them from every angle. Garrett Green, you need to show up and have a bounce back game. Donaldson, bounce back game. Team White, bounce back game. Get after it. Own the line of scrimmage. Don't let Pitt have momentum. If Pitt has momentum, Pitt stays in the ballgame, they hang around. That offense might be able to come back down and get them. So rally your troops. And this might be a season saver for West Virginia. So you got to just come after it. Keep your minds clear. Attack the day. I think West Virginia takes care of business all game. I don't think Pitt has the players right now to fight back at a small scale. So West Virginia gets it handled, but it would be a lot closer than most people think.
Fresh. It seems like eons ago that we were talking about Jordan Addison and Kenny Pickett at Pitt. And then after that, like 1 year of them just peaking and spiking up into the nation's interests, they kind of went into like this complete like kind of valley and now have slowly built themselves back up. I'll be intrigued to see how Pitt goes up against West Virginia, because it's one thing, again, week one, you're sitting there playing Kent State. Kent State lose, I think, did they lose the most kids in the transfer portal this past year, or is that 2 years ago? They're
I think it was 2 years ago, but they lost a lot.
Yeah. And then Cincinnati is probably one of the bottom feeders in the Big 12 right now this year. Their coach might be on the hot seat as well. But again,
he's a terrible coach.
Right. West Virginia, again, while we thought they would perform better against Penn State, no one really was expecting them to beat Penn State. The question I'm going to ask is, does Pitt's defense...
You can't say that. We both picked them to beat them.
Right. I'm saying outside of us. Like, majority of people, though, like, outside of us, West Virginia...
Outside of us and Pat McAfee, yeah.
Right. The question I have for the Pitt Panthers, though, which run defense are they going to be? Because if they're going to be the run defense that we saw against Kent State, they're going to have a really easy time with this Mountaineers offense. Garrett Green is a decent passer, but he's definitely got to make some strides in there for West Virginia to really be a contender in the Big 12. But if we see Pitt go kind of the way Cincinnati did, where Cincinnati was able to run the football all over 4 yards of carry against them in that, C.J. Donaldson and Jaheim White are going to have a day. And they're just going to absolutely torch them. With the Mountaineers, same thing. I want to see the defense be better. I want to see a better defensive effort from the Mountaineers. Yeah, last week you had a get-right game against Albany. The Great Danes still scored 2 touchdowns on you. I want to see a little bit better out of you. I want to see continuation of them being able to run the ball, especially when Pitt knows you're going to run the ball and they can do absolutely nothing to stop you. That's what I want to see in this football game. I'm going to say the same thing as you, man. This opened up at, I'm sorry, I misspoke. This opened up at 5.5. It is down to 2.5 in this game right now. West Virginia is only a 2.5-point favorite. So I think a lot of people are kind of fading the Pitt Panthers in this. Give me West Virginia in the 2.5, though. I'll ride with the Mountaineers one more time. If I lose this one, then I might have to burn my couch on the train, so I have to jump off the hype train for the Mountaineers. And, the fans will understand.
Dr. Pepper hype train might be derailed there at Morgantown if they lose this ball game.
It's not derailed, Fresh. They're just going to set it on fire. Like, I mean...
you just set the train on fire. It would take a while, but yeah, it's possible.
A couch, you cannot
It's a slow burn. It's a slow burn.
Someone please look up for us. Is it legal to burn a train in West Virginia?
Well, I'd probably say no, it's arson. It's probably not a good idea.
Is it arson if they allow you to do it?
I'm going to say it's illegal to burn a train in West Virginia. And probably anywhere in the lower 48 United States of America. Who knows about Alaska? That's a different story.
They got some funky laws in West Virginia, so we'll let some legal experts out in West Virginia tell us what the truth is over there. So I love the Backyard Brawl, man. This is one of those rivalries that I hope is it's a great rivalry. The fans are really into it. It's these two universities are a stone's throw away from each other. It's not like a horribly like far drive in between Pittsburgh and Morgantown. I mean, a couple hours, but I really hope that this is one of those rivalries that stays forever and hangs around and doesn't go the way of, something like Bedlam or something like that.
Yeah. Well, this game actually adds some intrigue. As of today, the Pitt athletic director was fired, asked to leave. So the new one they're going to hire is going to have no connection with Pat Narduzzi. And last year wasn't very good for Pat. If he loses this game and have a struggle season, does that new AD, whenever they're hired, come in and want how to change those, a thought process? So if you pull out this win, it might help keep your, keep your job secure. Even though he has won an ACC title, the new AD might want to go in a different direction. So it's a lot riding in the ancillary, the background of this ball game, not just for fans talking trash, but potentially the job security in the future.